Right, hello everyone. Tried to do this earlier, had some technical difficulties, so I'm going to give it a go now. I'm going to play the Trench Run tournament. Freestyle G, thank you very much. Thanks for the good luck. How's it going, mate? You alright? So for those who don't know, I've been very successful at Golf Clash, getting more and more successful at Ultimate Golf, doing reasonably well, finishing, winning the occasional Tour Pro tournament in the top flight, usually finishing top 10. Stuart, thanks for the good luck, mate, and thanks for the happy birthday. Appreciate that. So this is a tournament with all the narrowest fairways from random courses in the game. It's just 9 holes. I'm glad you're well freestyle, buddy. So I'm going to play this with Tour Pro balls wherever possible. And I could go for the green on this one, but I really don't want to waste a premium ball like a Pro DX on a mini tournament. Ian, how are you doing, buddy? Did I pronounce that correctly? I do hope so. Just upgraded my route to level 7 this morning, so hopefully get to use that. So counting back rings from max, with max backspin, and then calculating the wind adjustments using pretty simple calculations. Rings from max, and working out in between 1.35 to 1.55. So my favoured position when playing in tailwind is with the end of the shot view pointing at 1.5 rings. That looks pretty good to me. And then the hole position at 2.1 rings. That's with around 3.5 to 4 tailwind. And then I'll just take a look, see if there's any squiffy bounces, see if there's anything going on, which there doesn't seem to be. So hoping for a good start on this one, trying to get the eagle. Really favourable green on this one. So I just want to go absolutely centre cut. So we've got the position, we've got the wind, the ring adjustment sorted, which is 2.66. Talking to Jimmy Banger, and I watched some of his instructional videos about pulling down a hill. So when you're adjusting for the wind pulling down a hill, Jimmy assures me, and it makes perfect sense, that you are going to pull up short, but you do need to over adjust. So what I'm going to do is just push up ever so slightly, just that maybe 0.1. I'm going to get the pin right on 2 rings rather than 2.1. Ryan, how you doing, buddy? Oh, you're welcome. Very kind words, thank you very much, mate. Nice of you to drop in. So, like I said, I'm going to play this one at 2 rings instead of 2.1 because I am pulling down this hill ever so slightly. So I think I'm going to get a short pull-up, but I am just going to I'm not offsetting, I'm playing dead at the pin, but instead of 2.66, I'm maybe going to play 2.7 rings because 2.66 is the number that I've worked out. And because I'm pulling down that hill, I'm going to over adjust So it's going to pull up short, but I need to over adjust. So that's why I've pushed up. See, that was really good information just looking at that shot view. The guy that just stopped on the edge there, I'm guessing he's played the shot exactly the same as I'm about to play it, but without that offset for the downhill pull. So 2.7. Looking at right there. Let's see how that goes. Should get close if I've done everything correctly. Oh my goodness. 900 TB to start. Oh, I don't believe it. Is it going to be one of those days? Is it going to be one of those days? Really needed the drop on that one. Right, just warming up. That's the first hole I've played in a few days. Just about to start your rounds as well. Vet 3. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Well, if you need any advice, mate, I'm certainly not the best out there. There's a few guys that are a bit better than me, but I've got the ear of some very good players, and I have picked up a lot of useful information. And to say that I'm playing with low level clubs, I feel like I'm doing all right. So if you need any advice, mate, just shout up. Right, so I'm just going to play to Bigfoot range here. Should be leaving myself somewhere around about 6 rings from maximum. Do you know what, mate? You say robbery, but I did work my numbers out slightly wrong. I use a sort of an angle calculation as well for the wind angle, and I put the wrong, used the wrong numbers. So robbery, yeah, okay, maybe. Right, so I've got a really short bounce on this one, so I'm gonna reduce that backspin, get that shot view pointing at 1.5 rings. That looks okay. I'm going to count the rings from max to get to that correct position. So that's going to be around 3.5 rings, and then I'm going to straighten up that secondary bounce. So I'm going to use side spin to do that. Get that secondary shot view nice and straight, in line with the primary shot view. And then I'm just going to push up. It looks like it could just be favouring the sort of left to right roll a little bit. So I'm going to set up. I think I'm going to be. Am I pulling downhill slightly here? Yeah, slight downhill pull on this one. So I got the distance right last time. So I'm going to do the same thing this time, which is setting up rather than at 2.1. I'm going to set up bang on 2. So putting that pin on the second ring. Just favouring the left edge of the flag. And then the number that I've got is 2.99, so I'm going to pull a full 3 rings and maybe just a pixel over 3 rings, because again, pulling downhill. So when you are pulling downhill, your shot is going to pull up shorter than you think, but you do need to over adjust just a tiny bit. Just a very tiny bit. I've not got that sort of exact calculation down yet, but I know it's just a tiny bit. So the number I've got is 2.99, so I'm setting that crosshair at the bottom at 3 rings, and I am going to pull just past. Not looking at the bounce, but I'm looking at the circle. So irrespective of where that bounce is placed, I'm looking at the position of the circle. Oh, you've just got your Bigfoot level 8. Game changer, mate. Slight great shot shouldn't affect the flight because of the forgiveness stats of the ball. Come on. Quite a big hop forward on that one. Just set the backspin incorrectly. Thought that when I set it that was just past 1.5 rings. Got the line right though, so I'm happy about the line and the adjustment. Yeah, I'm playing with Bigfoot level 9. Just looking at that, I mean, could be blasting that with a Pro DX. There is a really nice sort of downslope and left to right on that to get right up there. And I reckon I could do that, but again, just for a little mini tournament without great rewards on this one. You're only playing for the same ball that I'm teeing up with right now. I'm not going to waste my Pro DXs. So just looking at the line in, I want to be over to the left slightly to get the best line in. Yeah, tempting to send it, definitely. I bought a load of Pro DXs the other day when they were released again. So I've got about 80 or 90 or something like that. But to be honest, mate, unless I'm really confident of getting right to the green or fringe, I would much prefer to play with a mid-range Bigfoot than a mid-range wedge, especially a wedge with sort of 16 wind or something like that. So 3.6 wind, let's just work this out. Whoops. Just try and zoom right in. The interface and the sort of ergonomics of this game, I don't know if that's the right word, ergonomics, but like the user, like how you pan and zoom and that, if you do come from the other game, it can be quite difficult, and people tend to switch off and think, well, it's different, so I don't like it. But once you get used to it, you've just got to realise it's different. It's not the same game, so there are going to be differences. Right, so I'm happy with that shot view. I'm going to play at 1.8-ish with a 45 degree headwind. So then I'm just going to check that secondary shot view is just dropping off to the right. So I am just going to straighten it up with a touch of side spin. And then just take a look. Again, that's just on maybe a left to right slope very slightly. So I'm not going to set up dead at the pin. I'm just going to go sort of one click to the left, just left of the pin. I think the position of 1.8 for the pin is pretty good. And I'm going to use the zoom feature on the iPad. It's on any iOS device, built in, just to line up that wind arrow. I think this could possibly be a slightly uphill pull. So I'm going to go 2.5 rings. My adjustment number is sort of 2.55. That looks better, does it? Pulled up short again. See, on another day, I could possibly drop these. But getting to 895, you're not far away at all. You're just sort of one click away on your spins or your adjustments. Yeah, that's right, mate. The wedges are exceptionally difficult in this game. Exceptionally difficult. And there is no shortcut, there's no way other than working out the rings and the calculations for the rings. If anyone's ever bothered to try and work it out, the calculations are not very simple at all. Very, very complex calculations to work out the wedge ring adjustments. So again, looking around about 6 or 7 rings from max. Maybe 7, 7.5, something like that. Factoring in that wind angle. And then I'm going to place that pin, because it's a downhill pull, place the pin at 2 rings rather than 2.1. Try and be a little bit more careful this time, because last time I just overshot, because I wasn't too careful setting the spins. And that looks reasonable to me. It's always difficult to try and see the end of that shot view. I'm reasonably happy with that. I think that's the missing piece of the puzzle in my game. Very, very confident in my wind adjustments, and getting the terrain, the sort of physics of tweaking the adjustments, getting those down. But the one thing that I don't always get right is the actual start position, the setup position. So we'll just scope out a little bit of left to right on this one again. So we're just going to start left of the pin. Left, one click left of the pin. Just going to give it a little bit more, I think. Yeah, left side of the hole. Okay, I'm going to go with that. So, a little bit of a downhill pull. Stuart, is this exactly what's happening to you, mate? Sucks. Sometimes you drop them all, I shot an 18 or a 19 front the other day, and I always think, why didn't I stream that round? And then I stream and I fucking leave everything on the edge, but excuse the language. I'm going to go 2.5 and a bit on this one. 2.5 and a bit. Right there. Come on, let's get the drop. Come on. We're in the air. Come on. Should have set up at the pin. How do you like that one, Stuart? Does that look familiar? Yeah, you can't play them the same, Ryan. You can't play the games the same. Some of the principles are the same, But elevation has the exact opposite principle, where uphill elevation is affected more by the wind, which makes perfect sense if you think about it, because you're aiming up in the air. So the ball is going up in the air, so it's going to be affected more by the wind. Makes perfect sense. Downhill shots, you have a lower trajectory aiming down, affected less by the wind. But you're only talking a couple of percent. You know, I don't think you're ever talking about anything more than 5%. For the actual landing point. But the big thing to learn is the secondary in this game, because the secondary effects can be enormous. Right. Nice greens on this course. I don't even know what course we're playing, to be honest, because that's the other thing that I really do need to swat up on. And to be honest, every time I play a course, I think I should make some notes. You know, if I'm playing Wolf Creek, which is an absolute swine of a course, or if you're playing, you know, Torrey Pines or something like that, you should be saying hole number 1, you know, drive came up short with the usual setup, something like that. So add 1% next time, or set up left edge or something like that. That's what I really should be doing, but you know, I'm streaming, so I'm not going to be sat scribbling notes at the same time. So what I'm doing now is just setting the backspin to try and get that shot view at 1.5 rings. I think I've got that there. And with crosswind, playing the hole at 1.9, I'm going to be adjusting reasonably flat. It's difficult to say. It looks like a very slight left to right slope, but then it sort of slopes up towards the hole as well. So a bit of an uphill left to right and a downhill back to front on this one. That didn't make sense anywhere apart from in my mind, but I know what I mean. Downhill from left to right, downhill from the flag to the front of the green is what I'm trying to say. So when you're pulling up to the left but down towards the fringe. So quite a complex adjustment on this one. So I'm going to play it as flat. I'm just going to try and take a look. I think that might be slightly, ever so slightly. No, I'm going to play it as flat. So I'm quite happy with the position there. Set the wind angle. I'm going to go 2.5, possibly close to 2.6 rings. I think I under-adjusted there. I'm just going to curl to the left. I don't even know if the curl registers unless you break that circle. I knew I'd under-adjusted. I sort of moved the screen right at the end instead of moving the target. Right, this is getting very annoying now. 900 on the first hole. I should have guessed what was going to happen. Look at these zeros at the top, minus 13. That's a nice round. I could have been way up there with a little bit of luck. So headwind on the par 5. We're going to blast it. And we're going to play with the new route level 7. Test that out, hopefully. Should be able to get there. See if we can get there. No. So I'm going to be playing with the Hellfire level 5. This is the club that holds me back. Absolutely terrible Hellfire level 5. There's pretty much zero ball guide on this one. So I'll try and get it straightened up. There's a big left to right break on this, so I am going to overplay the side spin to try and straighten it up after the first bounce and get it rolling off to the left, which will then hopefully roll off to the left and break down towards the hole. That's my thinking. So what I'm doing is I'm just plotting the first to the second bounce. So I've got 1, 2, 3.3 rings, and that's playing about 6.5 rings to the hole with side wind. I think I need to go a little bit more than that, so I'm just going to add a tiny amount of top spin. I'm going to have to pull back a little bit because I'm going to be adjusting up towards maximum. Yeah, I've just got my route to level 7, so you get max backspin. I got it this morning from the Big Shot. I posted a Big Shot video, to be honest, to how to dial in the Big Shot, because it's super difficult if you just rock up at the tee. But I posted another video. I've got a few actually, how to get maximum rewards from the Big Shot, and you can get some really nice rewards. So if you get a chance, go look at that video, because it's picked up a few hole-in-ones at the Big Shot using the technique that I've sort of posted in the video. Right, so I'm going to go with that position. Always a little bit of a stab in the dark with the Hellfire. Just because you really don't have... It's alright if you can play the backspin shot, but on a shot like this when I'm playing the rollout, it's very difficult. Sorry. So I'm looking at 3.8 rings from the first to the second bounce, and then sort of 7 rings. So it's just over halfway from the first to the second bounce, and that way I should be able to gauge like the run out. And I think, yeah, the Viking, I know, mate, but that's not a bad. Let's just take a look. Is there a better? Yeah, I've got a worse shot view on the Viking, you see, so I'm going to stick with the Hellfire. I mean, I've just got my Capitan up to level 5, which is a massive upgrade, but that's still only 74. I'm all right. I'll play like this. I'm happy with that. Right. So the number I'm looking at, I play 1.61 wind per ring with the Hellfire level 5. So I'm going to look at 2.5, just over 2.5 on this one. All I want to do is just get close, get a 17 something tiebreaker. I don't think I've got much chance of holing a shot like that. Yeah, 17.26, that's not too bad. It's always difficult with a low level club, you know, without the run out, the ball guide, the shot view. I'm reasonably happy with that one. could have been on this round. Could have been a very nice round if a couple of those ones on the lip had have dropped. So again, just going to blast this one up there. Looking at the shape of the fairway, definitely a massive left to right slope. So rather than just going like that and then blasting it, what I'm going to do is, you know, make sure that I'm going to be pushed over to the left. I definitely want to be playing up towards the left of this fairway, because if you try and hit it down the middle, there's a really good chance you can sort of squirt off to the right and then end up just in that right rough. So always take a good look at the fairway rather than just pointing and shooting. Yeah, Liam doesn't like it because it's different. It's different to what he's used to. Very, very, very good Golf Clash player. One of my best friends in the online world. But he doesn't like the game because I'm not going to say he's stubborn, but yeah, he's a bit stubborn. Right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm not playing down here, because then you've got a difficult chip over that bunker. I'm going to play here. And hopefully, just going to pop out onto the fairway, but if we do get stuck in the rough, it's not the end of the world. So I've no idea of the adjustment, and I can't be bothered looking it up or using the app or whatever, so I'm just going to estimate. Come on, get out. And we get out onto the fairway for what should be a reasonably easy Atlas. So I'm going to put the Hive away. Hive level 7, starting to look like an exceptional club, but I'll still stick with the Atlas for that added shot view. So the Atlas. We'll check just inside the no adjust range. Wind from left to right, so I'm going to apply maximum left spin. And just check, for those that don't know, not so much with the Atlas, it's just about right with the Atlas, but with the high accuracy clubs, zoom out to maximum, and if you are within that white circle, that is no adjust range, so you will not get any wind effect within that circle. But it's not quite accurate with the Atlas, so I think just a few millimeters inside that circle. Now, what I am going to do, you see, that looks like it'd drop, but I think if I shoot there, I'm going to miss right edge, just because I'm right on the edge of that no adjust, and because I always think you're better off playing like that. When there is a left to right break, set up left edge, because it always tends to break a little bit more than you think right at the hole. So I have an 82 is it? I'm just going to check that. 82 shot view. So what that means is from the first bounce to the end of the run out is 82% of the total height grid, of the total run out. So you have 50% there, 75% in line with those row of numbers, 87% there, and I'm playing with 82. So that should, theoretically, reach the hole and a few inches past. So take some time to measure like that. Check your shot view number. I'm going to set up left edge, and then I'm going to adjust a very small click for the wind. It is an uphill shot, so it is going to have a tiny bit of wind push I am just show grid continuously. Show grid continuously. There we go. Just using the Apple voice grids. Oh, lovely shot. They must have got a really nice tailwind off the tee. So there we go, just one click on the adjustment. I'm going to see what that looks like. I think that's going to drop. Always take your time with wedges. Never just point it at the hole and hope for the best. Oh no, I've lipped it out. I didn't need that adjust. Oh, for God's sake. Right, so I thought that was going to drop, but I'll definitely learn from that one. I was just inside that no adjust circle, and I did aim left edge. Oh, what a terrible round. Do you know what? I might just stay on for the next one. I might just play the other tournament as well, and this one's going nowhere. So I might just play the other one as well. Hopefully play a bit better. This is just a warm-up, you see. Right, let's drop the big foot. Well overdue. Those that have watched my streams will know that I always leave everything right on the lip when I'm streaming. For some reason, I don't know why that is. So 6 rings from Max. Yeah, Liam is beyond good at GC. Exceptional player. Won quite a few Master Golds in his time. And part of my shop team for the guides that I do produce. Very good friend of mine. Lovely bloke. Right. Shot view at 1.5. We're going to be pulling downhill. So again, I'm going to set up at 2 rings to the pin. So the pin exactly on 2 rings. And let's get this drop. See, if I had more Tour Pro balls, I would probably just play this again, because you do get replays in this game. You know, if you're not happy, you can replay a certain number of times. I think it's 5 replays or 3 replays on this one. Right. But I've only got sort of 120 odd Tour Pro balls. I'm not winning tournaments regularly. So I'm not at that position yet where I can replay all the time. Well, I could do, I guess. I've got plenty of... What did I press then? Plenty of premium balls. I could replay, but I'm not gonna. So pulling ever so slightly downhill. Quite a high wind, 4.1. I'm going to play 2.9, just over 2.9 rings. And this one's going home. In you go. Looks good. There we go. Finally got the drop on the last hole. See, I can do it. No, it's not the last hole. Freaking hell, there's another one. Right. Let's drop this one as well. Is this Bay Hill, I think? Is it? Don't know. Right, let's play again to Bigfoot range. All I'm doing is using the grids on my screen to ascertain where the Bigfoot range is. I know that if I place the pin below that little number 3 on the numbered grid and aim for the number 7, that will put me at my favoured position, which is around about 6 to 7 rings from max. Messed that one up just about. Did my best to screw it up. Just about got away with it, just about. So playing right at maximum. Saeed, hello mate, how's it going? Thanks for dropping in. And if you haven't done so already, please feel free to click the link in the description, download the game, and if you need any help, any pointers, just drop me a PM, happy to help. As stated before, I'm not the best, but I've invested a lot of time in learning how to play the game. And it's going very well so far, I think. So, straightening up, I'm going to aim dead at the pin. Yeah, it sometimes doesn't pull when you try and adjust. Yeah, you can grab the screen, and I've done that on stream a couple of times and moved the entire screen instead of adjusting, and then wondered why I missed by about 15 foot. So what I'm going to do on this one, because I'm going to pull at the 1201 pull angle on this one, because I'm just ever so slightly out of position. I want it to be a little bit further forwards. I'm just going to pull with the wind arrow just off to the right slightly. Little 1201, which should just get me back to where I want to be. Like that. There we go. A little 1201 pull on this one. So, yeah, shot sharing has made Golf Clash way easier than it was a few years ago. You're dead right. But as far as I'm aware, and as far as I can tell, that's the way that the game creators intended it to be played, because it's a team game, you know. Clans were introduced and they encouraged everybody to share the shots. So that's collaborative efforts, that's what they wanted. I'm going to play 3 rings on this one. Just try and get right in position there. There we go. Come on. I just needed an over adjustment on that one. I think that one's slightly uphill. I just noticed as I pressed the take shot button that it did look slightly uphill, and because I'm not familiar with the courses, I would have known to add a little bit onto that adjustment, but to be honest, I should have gone back and adjusted a little bit more. So minus 11, that is terrible. And look at all those 898s, 900 on the first hole. Lipped out on hole number 7 on the chip. I really should have been minus 14 on that one, possibly minus 15. I think if I played that one again, I definitely should be shooting sort of 14, 15 on that one, but I'm gonna move on. Shall I play the qualifier? I'm gonna play the Madness qualifier, because this is one of the best tournaments with the best rewards. Played every week in Ultimate Golf, and you have semi-finals, finals, whatever. Travs, how's it going, buddy? Are you back from holiday? Someone's had a good time, haven't they? Or are you still over there, mate? go. This is one that you can definitely get close if you do get a, you know, a hella sort of tailwind on this one. You can definitely get close, but we're not blessed with a tailwind on this one, so we're just going to play over to the right, leave ourselves a nice run in from the right. Oh, he landed last night. I hope you've had a good one, mate. Well gel, me. I am well gel. I'm looking at going later in the year, to be honest. But we'll see. Right, so let's go. Count rings from Max. We're looking at round about 7 rings. 3.8 wind. Just take a look at that angle where I'm going to be adjusting to. And just take a look at that shot view. Maybe just take the slightest click off that, because I want it pointing at 1.5, and I want the I'm going to be adjusting slightly downhill. So again, I'm going to set up with the pin right on 2 rings. I'm just going to do a little recce, check that there's no funny bounces, which there doesn't appear to be. Aiming right at the pin. And I'm going to go 2.6 and a bit. Maybe 2.7 on that one. Try and get the ultimate shot. Come on. Bounced over the hole. And that was close. Close to dropping in on the 3rd bounce there. You're in bits, mate. I know that feeling. It nearly killed me last time. I think one more night would have killed me. Do I ever plan on doing a guide for ultimate golf? I have no plans to do so, mate. But who knows what the future brings, and never say never. But I definitely have no plans to do so. All that I want to do is create a bit of content, offer advice, tips and tricks, that kind of thing. Share the knowledge that I've gained. Hopefully help people out that are in a similar position to me, getting into the game, not fully understanding everything, you know. If I can help out, then that's what I want to do. Zeus is the Zeus better? To be honest, mate, I've only upgraded that this morning. That's a good spot. Oh, look at that, there you go. Zeus level 5. Why am I not using that? No, the reason I'm not using that is because of the top spin. Because I like to use the top spin method. It's widely regarded as the best method. So I've got a rock hard green on this one with a big bounce forwards. Let's just try and work this one out. So you can see we've got a big bounce forwards on this one. I'm going to be pulling uphill, which is going to exaggerate that wind effect as well. So the position I'm looking for is round about 0.6 rings from second bounce to the pin position. I've not got that wrote down anywhere. I'm not reading from a guide or anything. It's just what's in my mind. I'm going to straighten up that secondary shot view. And then again do that little recce. Definitely looks like it just squirts off to the left at the hole. So I am going to left of the flag. That looks all right to me. I'm going to under adjust ever so slightly on this one. I think I'm just going to, no, I'm not, playing slightly uphill, which I think will sort of negate the fact that it's an uphill pull. It's an uphill shot and an uphill pull, so that should sort of level itself out in terms of tweaking the adjustment. So I'm going to play just over 2.5 rings on this one. It's not a bad line. Oh, right on the edge. Difficult green. I'm not too disappointed with that one. It's always nice to get a drop, so I'm not too disappointed with that one though. Are any good clans looking for one in their clan on this game? Of course, I can't find an active clan. Yeah, there are, mate. What you're best off doing is just dropping on the UG forum, you know, the Facebook group, and just asking. Tell them how many points you put up. Someone will pick you up. All I did was somebody asked if there was any decent players about, so I just said, you know, give us a go, and I'm usually right up near the top in the scoring tables. So the pin's right at the front on this one, so I'm just going to blast it up there. I'm going to play about there. A little bit of left curl, I think. I'm not going to use a better ball than this. I think I can get there. With the Tour Pro ball, should be able to get to a no-adjust wedge, hopefully play it a bit better than I did on that last tournament. Got a nice kick forwards on that one. That was a really nice bounce. Just landed on a little sort of down slope. John Bell, thanks very much for the good luck. Appreciate that. So this one should be straightforward, so I'm not going to miss this one. That's going home. Nice easy wedge. Just almost stopped short. If you didn't know there was such a thing, drop on Facebook and just type in Ultimate Golf, and you should find the Facebook group. Loads of good streamers on there, you know, Duff, Jared Alexander, Jimmy Banger, some of the best around. Webbo, Adam Webster. Check out all their YouTube channels, all exceptional players. Oh, look at this, happy days. I get to use my new route with the max backspin. Now I'm happy. No, it's not max backspin, but it's a bit better than it was. So oh, look at that! I don't even need to use max backspin. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna just pull off max. Somewhere around there, I think. If you do 20 to 30,000 a season, mate, you should be able to drop in one of the top clans. That's some really nice scoring. Don't know why my zoom's messed up again, but we'll reset it. There we go, just set that wind arrow so it's pointing at 12 o'clock. And we're going to go 0 elevation, 0 tweaks on this one, 2.96. First shot with my root level 7. Another 896. Oh, they beat everyone in tourneys, mate. Like I say, there's much better players than me out there, but I'm getting there. And I've won a few tournaments, had plenty of drops. Just not on stream, unfortunately. Same as the other game, I always do better when I'm not streaming. I guess it'd take a bit more time, but I don't want it to get boring, you know. So I'll try and do it as quickly as I possibly can when I'm streaming. Right. Another huge bounce on this one. Look at that one's massive. So I'm probably going to be playing around, that is an enormous bounce. So this is difficult. It's a rock hard green. It's actually an uphill bounce, so it should stop dead, but it's not going to do that. Because it's a rock hard green, I'm going to get a huge bounce on this one. So winging this one a little bit. It's not a shot that I'm used to. It's not a shot that I'm very good at. We have some definite left to right. This is, get this anywhere near, I'll be happy. So I'm going to set up outside left edge. Playing into a headwind, and I'm going to play 3.5 to the first bounce, 4.6. I think I might even need a little bit more than that. I'm going to pull back a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to play that. I don't know how this one's going to play way uphill, so I'm actually going to add a couple of percent into my numbers. I'm going to play 2.9 rings on this one. Yeah, it's quite demoralising when someone just whoops you when you've just played the round of your life, mate. But keep at it. Right, let's go. 2.9. This is an awful hole. Very, very difficult. If I can get to 895, I'll be very, very happy with myself. Nowhere near 817. That is shocking. Shocking. I guess I was pulling uphill there, and I'm just thinking about that afterwards. Pulling uphill, which definitely sort of requires an under adjust, because it's throwing your trajectory up in the air, creating more wind effect. Should have thought about that one, but never mind. I think this is an easier green. Much softer green on this one, I hope. Let's count rings from max. I'm going to play about 4, as long as this shot view looks alright, which it does. We're very, very, very soft green on this one. So let's try and work this one out. Shot view pointing at 1.5. Hole at 1.6. So shot view at 1.5, hole at 1.6 with the soft green and the short bounce. Straighten up with a little side spin. Just can't see it. Still can't see it, I'll just take a guess. Tiny bit more. Right, and then we're going to do a recce. Some possible left to right just before the hole. So I might just get a funny bounce right at the hole. So for that reason, again, setting up on the left edge of the pin. Just going to double check that I'm at 1 point. That one's going to pull up short, so I'll just push up again. So the line looks right. I just need to remove a tiny amount of backspin. Yeah, happy with that. Let's go 2.78, maybe 2.8, just under 2.8. The amount of precision is tremendous. You are correct. And, you know, I mean, when I develop like the lightning rod club a little bit more, that'll be nice, you know, to get the full shot view. Sometimes different style of shot, but I'm only packing a level 4 at the moment. So once I get that up to sort of level 7, that'll be very handy. And I'll be able to play a more wide variety of shots. Come on, get in. 899. And again, that just goes down to getting that setup correct. And that's when it goes back to the precision that you talk about and trying to visualise, because you don't get the full ball guide and the full visualised shot view. So you've got to be really precise, really difficult to see it sometimes, exactly what you need to do and where you need to set up. So yeah, that's annoying, missing 899s. Very annoying. Right, what I'm going to do on this one is stay to the left. No, I'm not. I'm going to go right of this bunker. I was wanting to cut a bit of a corner there, but I'm not flirting with that bunker. I'm just going to play enough over to the left of that fairway just to make sure I'm away from the bunker. I'm guessing I'm going to have to use the Capitan for the approach. Possibly the Hellfire. Yeah, we can... Oh, gosh. We can get away with the root. Very nice. So... I'm going to be playing around 5 rings from max. Let's just take a little look at that secondary shot view. Looks like a very flat green, but a very difficult green. because it's got a huge kick on this bounce. So I'm reasonably happy with that position that I've found there. Really difficult one to judge. So what I'm doing is just putting the pin and the primary shot view on the centre line of the screen, checking that secondary shot view. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Way uphill, this shot. So 3.1. I'm going to play 3.1 and a bit. I'm quite happy with that. I think this one's going to kick over to the right a little bit. Yeah, kicked over to the right loads, to be honest. Cheers, Stuart. Have a good one, pal. Not sure how you can play without constant reconnection messages. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. But hello, Andrew. Right, I'm going to just always use the Holy Driver on this one to set up, because there's a big downhill slope, so I want to be sort of getting to roundabout here. Use the driver with the best shot view, and then swap out to diffusion. Add a couple more backspin just to keep it from rolling down that hill. And I believe this one overplays. I believe last time I played this, I under-adjusted with standard numbers. Oh, I've done it again. Left myself between clubs. Right, so what I need to do now, with the right bollocks of that, is remove the big foot, play with the basic, so that I can pull back further. And that's because the club below always reaches its max before the club above reaches its min. So if you are between clubs, remove your club below, swap it out for the shortest club in the bag, which is usually, I think, always the basic short iron or long iron or whatever. Gives you a little bit more range. Ah, right, I get it now. I get it. The disconnects over in Golf Clash. Yep, I saw that. Saw the problems we're having over there. So, taking off a little bit more backspin. It's a pretty soft bounce on this one. I want that to be pointing around 1.5 rings-ish. I'm going to push up a tiny amount, and that's the position. Not entirely confident but happy enough with that setup. And I'm going to play 3 point. What am I going to play? Let's just work it out. 3.1-ish. I think 3.1. Come on. Oh. Got the line right, but again, it goes back to that problem that I've been having of getting the distance correct on the setup. So the line was absolutely bang on, and I actually played that with about 2% over adjustment on my route numbers, which is quite strange for it being downhill. Most downhill shots play an under adjustment. Right, so find that max position, pulling back 10 rings. I think this is a soft green on this one. No, it's just normal, it's just normal. So it's quite a high bounce on this one. Sort of landing on an upslope, but quite a hard green actually. That looks okay to me. Again, not using any notes on each particular course or whatever. I'm just using the limited information that's inside my head. Pretty flat, this one, I think. And let's go. I'm actually gonna pull this one at 12:01. And I'm going to overpull. I'm going to play exactly 3 rings. Try and drop this last one. I needed a bit more. Needed a touch more on the adjustment. But let's see where we sit with that one. Struggled with the drops again. Sitting in 5th. Very difficult. I have to keep my eye on that one. I think I'll qualify. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for joining me on the birthday stream. And good luck if you're still to play. If you don't mind, hit the sub button, hit the like button, smash those thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please click the link in the description. Feel free to download the game. Have a good one, everyone. Happy 4th of May.